Good morning, welcome to the Beach Business Breakfast Show. This morning we have Pat Hancock from Crest Financial joining us. Beautiful morning again in Merriweather. Surf's about 1 to 2 foot high tide. Water temp about 22 degrees, which is fantastic.
This perfect end of summer kind of weather.
Yeah, it's excellent. Stay summer, please. So just a reminder, Beach Business Breakfast, third Thursday of every month, Merriweather Surf Club, 7:30 till 8:30. Every now and then we have, or about every month or so, or 2 months, we have a workshop session, and it's $10 and great opportunity to meet new business contacts and grow your business in an informal environment. So Pat's been with the Beach Breakfast basically from the start, which is good.
Since the start, it's been great, and the momentum is just better and better every month. It's going really well.
Getting, quite a lot of people coming along. So Pat, financial planner, how did you get into that? What sort of led you to that?
Well, I guess out of uni, went to Newcastle Uni here. I'm a Tamworth boy originally, and Newcastle Uni, and ended up in a financial planning position, which took me to Sydney for a few years, and that was all.
Who was that with?
With actually a friend of my wife.
Okay.
So my wife, her father.
Yeah.
One of his best mates. He's in the financial planning game. So
Networking your way into a job. Good.
That's right. Straight out of uni, nice and easy. No dramas there.
What did you do at uni? Did you do finance, or did you do accounting, or what did you do?
Well, actually, I had a good time at uni. I ended up staying for a little bit too long. I came out with 3 degrees.
Okay.
So
big HECS debt.
Big HECS debt. The business cards
Yes.
were quite lengthy at the end of the name there.
Yep.
But it all helps.
So what did you study at uni to give you a qualification?
Yeah, so I've got the Bachelor of Business, Bachelor of Economics, and Bachelor of Finance all synced
wow.
up. So
Cool.
yeah,
Excellent.
know a thing or two.
You're probably the smartest person I know.
You're like Mr. Business, Lego overlord.
Yeah. So down in Sydney, whereabouts were you in Sydney? Where was that based?
So not too far from the city, just in Camperdown.
Yep. Nice
So-
spot there.
Nice and easy. I lived in Bondi, so I was going against the traffic to work every day, which made life easy.
Tough.
Yeah.
You didn't buy a place down there at the time.
No, well, actually, got married.
Yep.
The reason for legacy was getting married.
Yep.
Did the travel around the world thing for a while. Lived in London for a bit,
Yep.
and back in Newcastle.
Did you do finance in London?
Yeah, I worked at a big bank over there actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you mention them, or was it?
I can. It was
HSBC or something?
I was at Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
No, it
excellent.
wasn't the cause of the GFC. That
Yep,
nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But so it was
That's
a good experience. Good to see
Yeah.
how different
Yeah,
organisations
that's a really
operate.
diverse starting point. I mean,
Yeah. And where did you live in London? Whereabouts?
In Clapham,
Oh, nice.
so
Nice.
just south
Yep.
in Zone 2. My sister's actually over there now,
Oh,
so
good.
she lives not too far away.
Yeah. I think summer in England is June the 23rd this year.
That's a bit all over by the 25th.
Yeah, exactly, 3 days. But that's good. So then back to Newcastle after that?
Yep, that's right. So
and did you sort of goof off for a while, go surfing when you got back, or straight into work, or?
pretty much straight back
Yeah.
into work. Hadn't worked for a while at that point, so I had to get some money back in the
Back in the till?
tills.
And did you go straight to work with Crest then?
That's right, yeah. So joined Crest, approached them as soon as we got back, and
So you
started straight away.
sought them out.
Pardon me?
You sought them out, like you were like, oh, that's the financial company you want to work with. Is that what you mean? Or?
Yeah, it was a mutual arrangement. We got
Okay.
together and had a quick chat, and it didn't take long for me to join the team there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the sort of typical day for, apart from getting up in the morning, putting a Hawaiian shirt on and having a chat with us? This show will go global at some stage.
course.
Just might take a long time, but who knows? So what's your typical day?
I guess the best thing about my job is that no 2 days are ever the same.
Yep.
Because a lot of the clients you see have different needs, different wants, different stages of life. You
Yep.
know, so we can help anyone from straight out of school if you like, young, starting family,
Yep.
right through to your pre-retirees and retirees, and even at the top end at the aged care kind of stage of life,
Yeah.
we can help out.
Yeah, and I suppose once people get a bit older, their kids come through, so you're sort of in part of the family.
Absolutely, and that's the big intergenerational thing, I guess. We identify so often in the past we've helped mum and dad with their situation, as they're near retirement or where they are in life, and then they appreciate the work we've done for them, and they get their kids involved to, for us to see them, and because the earlier start,
So a good part of your day is basically meeting and talking with people, finding out where they're at and where they want to go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the relationship, I guess. It's getting to know each client, because of course every client's different, and helping them on their way.
Yeah.
It's like anything. I could to get my car fixed. I don't know what I'm doing, so I take it to professional to get it fixed. And I guess in the world we live in, the financial planning world, there's all the jargon and you know, legislation changes every second day. You can't keep on top of it yourself, so you just
things
need
around super and aged care, as you mentioned before.
absolutely,
Become more of an issue. So, how do you get your clients? Like, what sort of things do you do? Like, I imagine you get referrals and those sorts of things. Like when you first started, you've turned up your first day at Crest, and did they hand you some clients, or did you have to go and find them? What sort of, how that come about?
Well, we've got a very comprehensive client base at the moment. Our review process is very comprehensive. We're not a transactional kind of business. We, you know, once the client's on board, you know, we explain it's a journey, and we want to take them on that journey, you know, over the years to help them, you know, achieve what they want to achieve. We're very much internally. The growth is organic, if you like. It's very referrals, word of mouth. And Newcastle, you know, of course it's a big city, but it's very much a big country town, if you like. So the word of mouth and the internal growth from referrals.
So it has momentum sufficient to, you know, if you're looking after everybody well, more people are attracted to that, and it rolls on basically.
Absolutely, yeah. We've got a very big support, like the staff. We've got a big office with plenty of sort of people in the background to make sure
paperwork and compliance,
all the bits and pieces, and
endless amounts of box ticking and form filling and things like that.
Well, compliance is big now, like as you see now with the issues around the banks and that sort of, and the financial planners have sort of been through their bit, and insurance and that sort of stuff. About, you mentioned before about, you know, you've got to know the client, and, you know, you've got the know your client rule, where you've got to understand the client's situation and then where they might be headed. And I suppose the benefit of a planner is you can say, well, the client, well, you think you might be going that path, have you thought of this, or what happens if this happens, or, you know, how are we going to sort of manage that? So they're relying on your experience.
Absolutely, and because we've got the, you know, the runs on the board, if you like, we've seen it all before, you know. There's nothing new that pops up that we haven't dealt with before, and having a big team, there's plenty of leverage points to work off the other guys there. We work together, and, you know,
and so some of the people you're working with have different backgrounds, expertise. I mean, you've clearly got sort of banking, commercial finance, and knowledge of what that world is like. And I guess you've got people who know more about property and shares and different. Is that how it's sort of made up, or?
Yeah, it is, because I get in our world there's a lot of certain aspects. You know, there's 1,000 different things that could come at you any day, and having the strong team there in different backgrounds, like self-managed super funds isn't a problem, aged care isn't a problem, so and the wealth of knowledge there, it's really beneficial to, and when we sit around the boardroom table and have a chat about certain strategies, or, you know, what's on your mind kind of thing, you really get some good discussions about, you know,
different strategies that people, you know, what's working for some people, or you know, how you're marketing it, or you know, presenting it to people, and those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So referrals a big thing. What sort of other professions do you sort of link in with to sort of share customers, or
who are your compatible businesses that you're working alongside all the time?
So I guess the two big ones are mortgage brokers and accountants. So we've got relationships there, and have had sort of steady relationships with some guys in those fields for quite a while, because there's certain things that accountants do that we can't, and vice versa, and the same with the mortgage broking side of things. So there's definitely leverage points, definitely for the mortgage broking. That's a big one, I guess. You know, someone to a mortgage, under insurance is often the problem. We can sort of help in there and come in. But one thing with under insurance too, people often think they got their insurance in their super or whatever, but it's often not adequate or not what they need, or the right type and things like that. So,
or there's different definitions, isn't there, for insurance and super, and, you know, whether you can actually access it, and, you know, whether you can get it out, and all that sort of stuff. And
absolutely. And the last thing you want to find out is when it's a problem, is at claim time. You want to be sure.
Too late once they're in the ambulance.
Too late there.
So with say insurance claims, do you manage those? Once a person's on claim, you manage that for them?
That's part of the service we offer. It's actually it's quite surprising how much of a requirement that is for us. It's a big, you think, oh, you know, it's never going to happen to me kind of.
A lot of stuff goes wrong, is what you're saying.
And it's surprising that, you know, it's often the people you don't expect. You know, the young 35-year-old who just gets struck down with breast cancer. She's the healthiest, you know, client on your books, and
things can change quickly, right? Like, imagine the best reason for you wanting to take up life insurance is because you keep seeing people who have to use it. Really good. It'd be I think a lot of people, like you say, they go, oh, it wouldn't happen to me. Like, I'm not going to get a heart attack, or I'm not going to get run over by a car or whatever. But if you're seeing these things in, one in every 10 clients or whatever it is, it's like, wow, this is like a real thing.
And every client that, has been on claim, of course they said that once initially as well. It's never going to happen to me. But, people insure their cars that are worth 10, 20 grand, If you work out
a lot of
your
people-
income.
Probably should get life insurance before car insurance.
I think a
really.
lot of people do it because it's compulsory. But and that's the thing.
Well,
Some people don't get their car insured other than just CTP. But so with say marketing, you've got your referral partners.
Yep.
You're in the Beach Network. You're in. You do other things through like the Association Crest have the AMP and those sorts of things. What about other sorts of marketing, Crest? Do you do like so much social media, email marketing? Do you do letterbox drops, radio, TV? Magazines, press, that sort of stuff? What other things have you guys tried that have worked or not worked?
Yeah, I guess we do a bit on the social media front. We understand that the world's changing, and about 20 years ago, or 10 years ago, even 5, you didn't need a Facebook page or a LinkedIn profile. But we understand that that's just how the world is. It's not how the world's going. The world's there. So you just got to keep up. And we've got the younger sort of staff who help us out with that sort of thing.
Yep.
So we're active
So
on LinkedIn.
you do that sort of in-house?
Yeah,
that thing?
do it all in-house. We've consulted external sources in the past just to get some ideas, and we'll use them when we need to.
Yep.
We're going that little step higher, I guess, on the level of what we're after. But we've got a dedicated IT guy, if you like, in the office, and part of his portfolio, if you like, is the social media management side of things. So we know that it's important to stay top of the list on Google searches, that sort of thing, and so we've done research on how to do things like that. So,
and you've got your Crest newsletter, which comes out monthly.
Yep.
Which, a few of us get. So it's about saying top of mind, isn't it? About when planting seeds and just making people think about, if that did apply to me, what would I do? Or, give people knowledge, and when they're in their social situations, it's more things that they can sort of look out for their friends that may need help with something.
That's right. Just another touch point, and we're only ever a phone call away. There's no, we don't say, okay, you get one review a year, so come and see us in August. We pick up the phone anytime.
Yeah. No, that's good. So, with how long have you been with Crest now?
It's been about 6.5 years now since I got back from London and into Crest. Yeah.
Excellent. So, if you're starting now, today was your first day.
Yeah.
What would you do differently? Would you?
I think probably not much different. It's all about the hard work, Probably and the team behind you.
Yep.
I'm not going to change any of our team, but that's the crux. You get your staff working behind you, skilled up, knowledgeable, and you kind of work. When you get to a point where it's all synchronised, it's harmonised, your job's so much easier at the top end because you just know everything behind you.
A bit like an orchestra.
Absolutely.
When the conductor and everyone knows what's happening, it's a great tune, and the audience will enjoy it. Normally.
And that's what we've got now. And I think, for a tip out there for anyone else who's opening their door tomorrow, I think that's obviously for the size of what you're doing. It's pretty important.
Yeah. Excellent. And what about some business advice? What's the best sort of business advice?
Well, you've worked
at given?
very successful and sometimes not staying successful organisations now. So what have you seen that's worked or not worked? Or?
It's just that just seeing people. The more people you see, the more relationships you build, the more people you can help. Because the stats are something like 1 in 5 Australians seek financial advice, and
How does put it another way? How does business or the work you do and the interactions with customers at an organisation like a big bank or a big investment bank compare to a sort of medium-sized, smaller type business? Is it just a matter of like extra zeros and maybe it's a bit more friendly, or is it really fundamentally different?
It's very much. I think we're a relationship business. The work that we do for clients comes off the back of that. It's our meetings are often as much about having a chat about the weekends, and there's often a bit of marriage cancelling element to the side of things too, which is good because it gets couples openly discussing about what's important, where priorities are, what should we focus on first, the kids' education, things like that. So, all in all, I think once you've got the trust and the relationship built, all the stuff that we do just comes naturally, really.
getting as much information, so then you can make a more informed recommendation, isn't it? It's a bit like getting back to mortgage broking. Like when we talk to people about if they're looking at buying a house, it's about where you want to be in 10, 20 years. Like where do you want
David, obviously, the best mortgage broker, most popular mortgage broker in Newcastle.
Yeah, well, at least Merriweather anyway. But where do you want to live? Are you going to have kids? Where do you want them to go to school? Where's the best place to buy your place?
Yeah.
So make sure you're in zone, all that sort of stuff. So the more you know about them and the more you share more about yourself, the better the relationship, the more opportunities.
And there's something in what you said, which is like getting people to actually talk about this stuff, because life gets hectic, and when you're trying to get dinner organised, especially with kids, all the other things that go along with that, or even not kids, and you're busy with sport or going out or whatever, it's not, maybe you don't make time to sit down and go, what are we doing for the next 5 or 10 years? I mean, some people are really organised like that, but you give them the space to start that conversation.
That's very true. And what we do, a good tool I like to do is on the whiteboard write up, so you'll draw the mum, draw the dad, and draw the kids underneath, and just basically do a portrait, their family portrait, in stick figures, of course. But here's your income, here's your
You
kids.
discovered those window things on the back of cars.
That's me. I'm
did
picking
that.
up the royalties for that still.
Yeah, who's got the copyright on that? That's probably one of your clients.
So you get them to visualise themselves, essentially.
Yeah, and long term, okay, so here's your house now. Is it going to be your same house in 10 years' time? What's the plan for that? And the kid's going to be at home still in 10 years, And you think maybe some kids are 16, 17 now, you think maybe they'd be gone by 10 years, but that's not often the case.
Or they might go and come back.
Yeah,
That's
and
right.
go and come back, and go and come back.
Well, I suppose one of the things you mentioned about paperwork and compliance, and within planning, you've got your fact find and those sorts of things, and know your client rule. Yeah. You can view them as a chore or as an opportunity. You can say, look, here's all the things we're going to talk about in a structured way about what are your goals, like when do you want to retire, how much money do you want to live on, do you want to stay around here or do you want to travel, do you want a new car every 5 years, those sorts of things. Then you can sort of say, well, based on that, this is where you need to be, but based on what you're doing, you're going to be here. So you either adjust your expectations or change your strategy. So
that's right.
It's it's an interesting thing, and the future's uncertain, but the more you sort of think about it, the probably better place you are. And a lot of people do start too late.
That's the key. We see and the ones that we get young are often the ones who are referrals from their parents. Yeah. So they see the benefit of it's the compounding interest story,
Yeah.
Quite straightforward. So the sooner you start, the more that nest builds, if you like, and
builds on itself.
Better off, yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Pat. That was a fantastic conversation.
Very
so
good.
Hopefully people will watch Pat and go, he's the financial planner for me. Even though we do have some other financial planners in the network, and you can find them on our directory, which Jeremy's firm, Web, put together, probably the world's leading internet and web hosting company. And go to beachbusinessbreakfast.com.au, click on the link, join us for breakfast. It's $10, very informal. Meet lots of passionate people who are just starting out or been in business for a while. So come along to that. But the directory's there, so you can find planners, insurance people, web designers, mortgage brokers, accountants, lawyers, just
all
about anyone.
People.
Anyone you want to find?
Yeah, anyone you want to find. So when you can get that listing yourself for free by just joining us. So we'd welcome members. So Patrick, have a great day, and
thanks
for bringing the great weather with you, and we'll see you all next time.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
David.
mate.
Cheers.